So when I wrote the book, I was a fatty. No offense, I used to be one. I was big, bigger. And I lived with that all of my life. So, even though now I'm the typical of what it should be, I talk from this experience of being physically what we should be. But, I can completely relate to it, and it will always be part of my life. And I was going to say something controversial, but I won't. And when I wrote the book, I was big, and I realized that it wasn't about being fat. It wasn't about, my unhappiness wasn't about the body that I had. I learned how to love my body with its overweight. I learned how to live in it, own it, love it. And I wrote the book from there. But, there were many people, I'm sure, who thought, yeah, well, that's a fatty trying to justify her fat. And especially because I promised that I would never do a diet if I wasn't able to do it happy or at peace. So, I got big, and it was controversial the way I did it. It wasn't what society expected. You have to lose weight now. But I wasn't going to do that. I promised myself that I would not put myself through that hell until I could do it at peace because of health reasons, but because it was a change that I wanted from the center of me, from integrity, instead of because I have to. And so the heaviest weight has two sides to it. One is the part where I talk about being fat, and then there's the part of where I talk about my experience of now being thin and having the looks. And I go like this because it's so absurd, I'm exactly the same woman I was 3 years ago. And and yet so much has changed, especially for people around me. And I'm exactly the same. And I also go like this because, it was the fat. Now I'm 33, so later it'll be the wrinkles, the age, before it was men don't love me because I'm fat. Later it'll be men don't love me because I'm old. So I don't buy it anymore. It's. Are you happy? Are you really, 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 really happy? That's the question, and that's the bottom line, and that's what I want in my life. And yes, I'm enjoying the dresses. I'm enjoying going shopping and getting everything, getting clothes that fit me always and looking amazingly. I love that. That's amazing. But there are many things we're going to talk about because it's a trick. It's the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. It's exactly the same. So if on the other side of the fence this was polluted and painful and heavy, when you cross the fence, it'll still be polluted, painful, and heavy. So let's work the heavy and the polluted, because if you cross the fence and you haven't made this mind change, then you won't enjoy it. And isn't this thing called life about loving it and enjoying it? It is for me.